In this video, I'm sticking my neck out there with some bold 2024 predictions, and make sure you keep watching this video. Hi everyone, Connor Woods here, market coach at Forex Signals and howtotrade.com. It is my job to predict and forecast markets, and today I've been left with the exciting task of providing you with my top 3 market predictions for 2024. Seeing as most of the big banks got it awfully wrong last year, hope to do much better than them this year. So without further ado, 2024 market prediction number 1 is on gold. Okay, so my gold prediction for 2024 is for the price to be at $2,150 per ounce. I'm measuring this against the US dollar. Now, a few reasons why I think this. If we go back to last year, we can see the performance that I've highlighted there. You know, steady gains, 4.8% on gold. Probably actually maybe a bit of a slower year than expected. And I think 2024 may see something similar. So if we actually measure what percentage gain that would look like from where we opened up the year roughly at this candle here, that's around a 4% gain. And I think at the end of the year we'll settle around where that massive wick was really that was formed in the beginning of December. Now, like with gold, I expect volatility. And I suspect what we may see is some volatility and a trade up to, and I think we may surpass 2,200 at one stage. However, my outlook for the US dollar is that for the first half of the year, I think the markets are expecting interest rate cuts, and I think maybe that's not going to come through as strong as people think they will. And if that comes through, then the dollar is likely to strengthen, and this could drag gold prices lower, maybe down towards, if we're going to be, because it's on a weekly time frame, down towards this low down here, at maybe around 2,000, between 1950 and 2,000, and I think that would be a great buy up towards our 2,150 target. Now, I can see probably the floor of the market likely being down here. This was basically what we saw 2023's low. Be very surprised if we got down there, but if we did at any stage, then I think somewhere between 1850 and 1905, this area here could be a great buy as well. However, I suspect gold to continue to grind up towards that 2,150 level. The second half of the year I think will be much better than the first. 2024 market prediction number 2, the NASDAQ. My 2024 prediction for the NASDAQ is to be at 15,000. Now, let me explain exactly why I think that, because there's a few reasons. So if we just look at 2023's performance, first of all, you can see what a year it was, really. We're going back to here, the 2nd of January 23, all the way to where we opened, pretty much at all-time highs / just surpassed them. Defied a lot of expectations. A lot of the big banks were expecting a big drop in the stock market. Now, when everyone heads into 2024 now, everyone's now bullish, and that concerns me a little bit. Last year, everyone was bearish, and we got a 47% gain. This year, everyone's bullish. So I'm going to go against the grain a little bit and predict a move down to 15,000. There's a few reasons why I think this. If I just go from a technical, from a fundamental standpoint, first of all, we've got geopolitical headwinds. War, essentially. We've also got the threat of a recession. So what I mean by that is interest rate hikes starting to bite. And we also potentially got the threat of a re-acceleration in inflation. I actually see this soft landing narrative as a less than 10% probability. And with that, in order for this stock market, I think, to continue and have another year, which, you know, probably not as good as last year, but even a positive year, I think we need that soft landing narrative coming through. And I'm going to stick my neck out there and say I think that's really, really unlikely. And it's actually more likely we may get a year where it's slightly flat. And I'm actually going for, I think it's around a 9% drop down towards 15,000 from where it is now, about 10% correction from where we are now. Now, if we look at it from a technical standpoint, if I just get those RSI indicators up as well. Okay. Now, if we look, this is on a weekly time frame. There's the move higher on the weekly time frame. Weekly RSI moving lower. There's a real sense here that this move that we saw back from October was really off of nothing. It was a bit of a FOMO rally. It was a rally on really not much substance. And therefore, I believe this RSI divergence is really, really critical. And we could see the first half of this year, the market actually fall below 15,000 before doing probably the thing that NASDAQ does the best, and that comes coming roaring back, and then potentially settling around that 15,000 level. That's my prediction for this market. And finally, 2024 market prediction number 3, crude oil. And finally, my 2024 prediction for crude oil prices is to be down at $63.4 per barrel, so a little bit lower from where we are now. This is the performance in this grey that you can see in 2023, from roughly where we opened to where in 2023 to where we opened in 2024. And it was actually, although oil prices did spike up to $95 per barrel, we actually saw the market end, especially the second half of the year, down. That was quite surprising considering, and we saw the stock market higher as well. So maybe that threat of the recession is seen more in the oil market than it is maybe in risk assets at the moment, and maybe that's something to come. Now, I suspect that we won't see a big collapse in oil, because I don't think OPEC will allow that to happen. But I genuinely see, if a threat of the recession starts to come through, and I worry about oil demand, I think this could be the theme for this year, oil demand worries. And I think if that comes through, then what we may see is a move down to 63. However, what we have to remember is we can see big spikes for more escalation. And if any war escalation occurs in, for example, the Middle East, and it maybe threatens the supply of oil, we may see oil actually spike higher initially, or really just see random weeks where we see huge run-ups in oil. And I think that may be a good level, a good sign really to maybe short this down to, where I think oil will end the year around $63 per barrel. There we have it, my predictions for 3 of the most popular markets to trade. Remember, it is extremely difficult to predict where price may be 12 months in advance, evident by last year's howler from the big banks. So don't ever take this as gospel, but feel free to build it into your view for this year. If you are looking for more information as to how I've come to these levels, then feel free to join our Trade Together program on howtotrade.com, which can be accessed for free with a verified Switch Markets account. If you have enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and click that subscribe button, and let us know your predictions in the comments. Until then, trade well, and we will see you on our next live stream.